Hey, what's up you guys? So today we're going to be learning 3 techniques from the World Nunchaku Association's Nunchaku-Do style. Alright, so the 3 techniques we're going to be learning today are going to be our gripping pattern, which looks exactly like this, our number 1 upward strike, which looks like this, and our number 2 upward strike, which looks like this. Alright, so let's get started. The first one is our gripping. So we're going to start hand over hand. As you can see, one hand is right over the other one, just like this. Now I'm going to release my bottom hand, and now as I release this, notice how it kind of rocks forward. I want to keep that momentum going. Now as I release this, the top hand goes down, forward, and then I flick, right? So I flick by applying pressure upwards with my index finger and applying pressure downwards with my thumb, so it kind of causes this flicking motion. All right, so as I drop the top hand, move it forward, and then flick it back, so that I'm able to catch this, right? You want to be able to try to keep this pattern going as much as possible whenever you're doing it. The goal for the first belt level is to be able to do 40 of these, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4 within 30 seconds, right? That's what you need in order to get your yellow belt or your yellow chucks, right? So keep that in mind. That's the goal. That's what you want to be training for. So again, hand over hand, just like this. And now it takes a little bit to actually be able to do this comfortably, but once you get it, you'll start to just throw this in all the time, even when you're just kind of hanging out, like, oh, okay, and you just practice doing your gripping. All right, so that's our gripping. The next one is going to be our first upward strike. So our first upward strike looks like this. All right, so with our first upward strike, let's first focus on the catching mechanics. All right, so when you catch this, try to have this one as horizontal as possible. Notice how my hand is at the same height as my shoulder. A lot of people raise up when they do this, right? And they bring it to this position right here. For this style, we're going to be holding it just like this, right? So completely horizontal. And now we want to try to get this one pretty vertical. Sometimes it kind of angles in there, just be able to catch it. That's fine. But this is the one that we're going to focus on the most, being horizontal. But if we can get this one pretty vertical, we want to do that as well. The next thing is, as you're actually raising this up, it does not go over the shoulder like that. Notice I wasn't even able to catch it because I can't even see it here. So it actually goes next to the shoulder, which, as you can see from this position, the chuck is exposed. Over the shoulder, you can't see it. Next to the shoulder, you can, right? So I want to go next to my shoulder as I see this, and that's what's going to allow me to actually be able to catch this each time. And now, when we're raising this up, we want to try to go right through the center line as we do this, and then bring it up. Some people go way off to the side, right? Like this. Try to bring it up as center line as possible. It might go a little bit off the side, whatever. You know, we're not perfect. You might miss it. It doesn't matter. All right, I don't care. If this happens and it bounces, whatever, just start again and grab it. All right, so that is our number 1 upward strike. Our number 2 upward strike is going to be the exact same thing, except for now we're adding a spin. All right, so we're adding a concentration spin right at the center. So as I raise this up, I go right to the center, right where the solar plexus is, and then I'm going to do an outside spin. So let's talk real quick about the difference between the outside and the inside. So if I stick my hands in front of me, just like this, anything in between my hands, that's the inside. Anything outside, it's the outside, right? So if I'm doing a spin like this, is this an outside spin or an inside spin? It's an outside spin. And this, that's an inside spin, right? So keep that in mind whenever you're doing this, outside versus inside. As we're raising it up, we get to the solar plexus and we do one outside spin, and then we raise it up. We want to keep the chuck relatively towards the center as we're doing this. I see quite often people will go and they'll point the chuck off to the side and make that spin, all right? Or they'll roll the wrist, right? See how I'm rolling the wrist? For this concentration spin, the spin is happening at the tip of the chuck that I'm holding, right there. All right, so notice how the tip of the chuck that I'm holding is relatively stationary. It moves a little bit, obviously, but it's relatively stationary. I'm not going here, where you can see the rotation point is at my wrist. So when I'm raising up for this number 2 strike, I want to keep that tip of the chuck that I'm holding right at the solar plexus, right at the center. And now, as I do this spin, since this is on the outside, if you're looking directly in front of me, you'll notice it's off to the side of me. But now, as I'm coming back up, I want that second one, as I go for that catch, to go right up that center line. So here, boom. So if the first one is a little bit off, get that second one to go right up that center line. And same as before, if you do this and you don't catch it, doesn't matter, right? One of the things I always like to say is we don't ever quit or give up after failing. So if I make a mistake, boom, I didn't catch it, well, that means I need to do it again until I catch it. And then if I want to quit, or not quit, if I want to stop, I can stop. Same thing if I drop the chucks, I got to pick them back up and I have to do whatever spinny, throwy thing that I did to make me drop it. I have to do that, and I have to actually succeed before I'm able to stop. So just kind of keep that in mind with your training. It will get frustrating. Do not ever stop after a failure. Only stop after a success. All right, so we've gone over the 3 techniques for today. Now we're going to just do a quick drill to put them all together. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 grips, and then we're going to go for our number 1, 2 more grips, other side number 1, 2 more grips, number 2, 2 more grips, number 2, and then we'll repeat. So what that's going to look like is 1, 2, upward strike number 1, grip again, 1, 2, other side, upward strike number 1, 1, 2, upward strike number 2, 1, 2, upward strike number 2. All right, now this is a little bit more advanced than just practicing, say, upward strikes number 2 on each one. All right, and you should definitely practice this way, but I find this is a little bit more fun to practice it in different motions, right? So gripping 1, 2, upward strike 1, 1, 2, upward strike 1, 1, 2, upward strike 2, 1, 2, upward strike 2, and then keep this pattern going. 1, 2, upward strike 1, 1, 2, upward strike 1, 1, 2, upward strike 2, 1, 2, upward strike 2. From the side, same exact thing. 1, 2. Ooh, that was upward strike number 2. I messed up. It's all right. 1, 2, upward strike 1. 1, 2, upward strike 1. 1, 2, upward strike 2. 1, 2, upward strike 2. All right, just like that. So give that drill a shot. Let me know how it goes. Shoot me a message, or just leave a message in the comment if you're able to do this. I'd love to hear back from you. All right, hope you guys have a great day.